Today I'm going to discuss the most important period, the Pre-Raphaelite period. The Pre-Raphaelites were a lost and the baggy collective of the Victorian poet, painter, illustrator, and designers who lasted from the 1848 to roughly the turn of the century, drawing inspiration from the visual art and literature. Their work privileged atmosphere and mood over narrative, focusing on the medieval subject, artistic introspections, female beauty. So these are the most important points of the pre-Raphaelite period. Of this period, in this period, we can see that how the pre-Raphaelite period were a loose and baggy collective of Victorian poets, painters, and illustrators and designers, and whose tenure lasted from 1848 to roughly the turn of the century, drawing inspiration from the visual art and literature. Their work privileged an atmosphere and mood over narrative, focusing on the medieval subjects, artistic introspection, female beauty. Who was the leader of the pre-Raphaelite group of artists in England? D.G. Rossetti, the the earliest play written by the Shakespeare according to the Oxford Shakespeare 1988 is Titus Andronism. The Monk is a novel Gothic. The Virgin Woolf work is considered to be an important precursor in feminist criticism right of women. St. College was born in 1772. Alexander Pope the Duel is modeled on the Macflan, Flagno, who amongst the following critic is the French philosopher Lacan. The little box cost January 28. The Don wrote a number of sermons 1860. In Act 5 that who says I will fight until the flesh has been hacked from my bones, young Seward. So these are the most important questions related to the pre-Raphaelite period. In this period, we can see that the pre-Raphaelites were a loose and baggy collective of the Victorian poets, painters, illustrators, designers whose tenure lasted from 1848 to roughly the turn of the century. Drawing inspiration from the visual art and literature, their work privileged an atmosphere and mood over the narrative, focusing on the medieval subjects, aesthetic introspections, females' beauty. So these are the most important points. And historical facts are happening in the pre-Raphaelite period. Basically, while you are attempting long timer courses about the pre-Raphaelite period, you have to define and mention all the points which is very important, like Victorian period painter, illustration designer whose other tenure lasted from the 1848 to love the turn of the century, drawing inspiration from the visual art and the literature. Their well privileged atmosphere and mood over the narrative, focusing on the medieval subject, artistic introspection, female beauty. So these are the most important questions. Who was the leader of the pre-Raphaelite group of artists in England? D.G. Rossetti. The earliest play written by the Shakespeare according to the Oxford Shakespeare 1988 A is Titus Andronicus. The Monk is a novel Gothic. Virginia Woolf's works is considered to be an important precursor in feminist critics' right of women. St. College was born in 1772. Alexander Pope the General is the model on the Macflagno, who amongst the following critics is the French philosopher Lacan. The little box calls January 28. The non wrote number of sermons 160. In Act 5th, who says I will fight until the Lash has been hacked from my bones, young shivered. So I hope you like this video, which is very important according to examination point of views. Thank you so much.